police are searching the home of 20-year-old gunman Thomas Matthew Crooks, who tried to assassinate Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. The former president vowing to never stop fighting after he was shot in the ear in chaotic scenes.
Take a look at what happened.
It's the moment that sent shockwaves across America and the world. A shooter opening fire on a Trump rally in Pennsylvania.
I was about 5 feet away from him. I was within sight distance. I was so close. And all of a sudden I just hear these 4 shots and everybody's screaming drop, and you can see the blood splatter on his face.
I was in the first row right in front of President Trump. I heard first boom, boom. I heard 4 boom, boom, booms.
All of a sudden, somebody hollers, "Get down on the ground," and everybody's going down on the ground as low as they can get.
Trump centimetres from death as a bullet pierces his right ear before the Secret Service step in, pulling him to the ground. The former president gathering himself before leaving the stage, defiant.
USA! USA!
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt.
Trump was taken to hospital before being discharged this afternoon, saying on social media,
"I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin."
2 other rallygoers were critically injured. 1 tragically lost their life.
The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter. Yeah.
The Secret Service taking out the shooter, who was on the roof just over 120 metres from where Trump was speaking. The FBI identifying the shooter as 20-year-old Pennsylvanian man Thomas Matthew Crooks.
We are absolutely not taking for granted that this was a lone wolf attack, and so we would be looking for any additional information that might point us toward anybody else that may have had a hand in this.
Attendees nearby say they spotted the shooter before they opened fire and warned police, but nothing was done.
We noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely.
Political leaders and punters quick to condemn the violence on a day that will go down in the history books.
This was an inexcusable attack on the democratic values that Australians and Americans share and the freedom that we treasure.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. Sick. It's sick.
It's absolutely stunning. It's just going to drive people to even be more for him. I mean, especially when that picture comes out.
USA! 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 USA!
Well, Jason Del Vecchio was there. He was at the rally and he witnessed the shooting. He joins us now. Jason, this looked chaotic. What did you see?
I saw a lot, and it all happened very quickly. First thing I can remember was we were watching Trump speak, and we heard some bullet impact on one of the machines that was sitting behind him holding up the speaker. And I guess the bullets hit one of the hydraulic lines on the machine, and then the speaker started coming down. But as we were witnessing that, all my friends and I kind of immediately knew to get down and try to get in a safe position for us to be in, so we didn't get hit with any ricochets or any other bullets like that, because we didn't know the full scale of the situation at the time because it happened so fast. And then after we heard about 4, 5, or 6 shots, the gunfire stopped. And then I immediately kind of remembered a couple of the past shootings that had happened, that I'd seen on the news over the past few years. And I didn't want to be sitting down in a spot stagnant, not moving. So I made my way over to the fence. I hopped over the fence, and then I kind of took cover underneath a police car that was sitting right outside the fence line there. And then I helped one of my other buddies over the fence. And when we kind of realized that the gunfire had stopped and it was safe for us to move around, we opened up the gate and we started letting people out of the gate to try to get to safety and go towards the exit of the venue.
Now, Jason, the moment where Trump sort of stood up with his security detail around him and then did the fist pump to the crowd, that's incredible vision. Were you watching that? And if so, could you believe that he was exposing himself again to more possible gunfire?
So that was definitely a sight to see and remember, and it's locked in my brain at this point. So I was off away from the crowd, and I was standing up at that point trying to see what was going on. I saw the Secret Service kind of just all jump and pile on top of Trump. And then a few seconds later, they were standing him up, and he was facing my direction when he threw his fist up into the air, and then the crowd went wild. I just got chills talking about it now because it was such a moving thing to witness, that he stood up and was like, you know, just such a proud American, and he, you know, had just gotten shot at and he was happy he was alive, and that was a very moving thing to see. It was a pretty cool experience to be 150 feet away from him when he did it. So
there has been some criticism of security at the rally. What would you say to that?
We did a lot of investigating after the fact on our cell phones, and we had actually been looking around for where Secret Service was, because we always know that there are a bunch of snipers posted up, like looking for these kinds of things. And I have a photo on my Instagram, and it's a picture of the two Secret Service guys up on the building who took the shot. And before Trump even got out on the stage, they were already facing in that direction towards that building, which we didn't realize was odd until after the fact, when we figured out where the shooter was. And it looked like from some videos that they had already had eyes on him before he even took the shots, and then they shot after. But I'm sure they have protocols on when they can and cannot shoot. But it was kind of surreal to see that they were already aiming at him before the shots had been fired.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate your time.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.